Hi guys. Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi guys. Today I was thinking that I'll just share my journey into storytelling. It was at the beginning when I first wrote. I think my very first piece of writing must have been when I was 9 or 10. It was terrible. I was the only person that read it. For context, all this happened in primary school. Let's say like primary 4, primary 5. Famous 5 used to be my favorite books to read. At that time, my book was like a very poorly plagiarized version of Famous 5 Adventures. And it was terrible. And I knew it was terrible. I entered into secondary school. I think Just as one or Just as two was my first play. It was very random. We used to act on Fridays because we used to have clubs on Fridays, and I happened to be a member of the drama club. I don't even know how I ended up in the drama club. I can't remember the situation surrounding that. There were not many in drama club, and I remember it was mostly us, just junior students. Most of the seniors, they had chosen fine arts or debates or science, So ended up needing to present a drama because my English teacher, she said we should present a drama for the club. And she wrote the very first drama. I was in the middle of like telling you a story before the light went, and the light never came back. Once it took the light, I wrote down my points because I didn't want to forget. Because I'm invested. Yes, Miss Uwem, as I was saying, my English teacher wrote the first drama or play. And we ended up acting it. Or not me, I didn't act it. For that first play, I believe I was the narrator in the play. My mates acted it, and I think we were in JSS1 at the time. So for the subsequent plays, I wrote them. I don't remember the exact circumstances that led to me being the one that began writing the plays after my English teacher had written it. I remember writing it for 3 years up to JSS3, and I remember it becoming so popular. People who went to my secondary school, they should probably know this, obviously, because it became really popular. People used to look forward to it. I never wrote actual lines for them to say. I would just write out the scenes on a piece of paper, kind of explain the first scene to them. This is what I want to happen in the first scene, and they'll do it. Because I believe that as children, as young as we were, that was the only way I could guarantee that they won't forget their lines and stammer and mess up the whole drama. So even if they don't remember what they're supposed to say, they would at least find other words from their brain to substitute with what they were supposed to say. So instead of telling you, say, hello, my name is May, I would say, introduce yourself in this scene. And so anything that they say will be an introduction to themselves. Anything that they say will be an introduction to themselves regardless. And we had fun doing it. They called me a couple of times to do a drama for the whole school. Like maybe when we're having carol nights or social nights, they would say, oh, come and write a drama for us to act in front of the school. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was barely 13 and I was doing all this. I'm so proud of myself. I probably continued writing those dramas had I stayed in that school. So I left. I went to another school, and in this new school, I didn't join the drama club. I had already decided in my head I was going to join drama club. I was going to write for them, and then they asked new students, what clubs would you like to join? And they mentioned all the clubs, and I'm going to press club. Just like that. I did little to no playwriting in the new school. In the new school, I totally moved from playwriting. I moved to news pieces. So I started writing news. I started writing for the newspaper, for the information board. We used to have a board that was called the press club board. It was funny. It was interesting. We just write silly stuff sometimes. We do quizzes on the boards, give advice, columns. Basically was like a newspaper. So we had different columns. We had the advice column, we had the jokes, we had the information, the one where we would like thoughts for the week or something like that. Yes. And so basically I moved from playwriting, fiction writing to article writing and newspaper newspaper and magazine articles generally. That's the kind of work. So by this time I'm actually expanding my because I had to learn a lot. I remember I used to be in the computer lab, always like looking for something that would like encourage my creativity, because being in a place like that, no phone at that time, no internet, there was no way I could have gotten PCs if I did not go and search for something that would kind of spark up something. Because it wasn't like fiction, I can sit down and it just come to me while I'm taking my bath, while I'm eating, while I'm doing something else. But for articles or something has to inspire it. I enjoyed that job quite a lot. By the time I was in SS3, I was made the vice president of the press club. By the time I got to university, I started blogging. Somebody advised me to start blogging. I don't know how people got to know that I write when I was in university. When I just got in uni, because I wasn't talking much, I didn't say a lot to anybody, but I know that I was always like writing at the back of my notebooks in class, because I was bored as oh god, that's another story for another day. I was bored with the whole of 100 level. By my second year, somebody had told me that I should start a blog, so I had researched on what it entailed to start a blog. But I wasn't too enthused about it, because if you are familiar with where I went to school, where I did my university, it's Covenant University, and basically everybody in Covenant was either a photographer, a fashion designer, or a blogger. And I was just like, I want to do something different, or a makeup artist. Those were the 4 major professions in Covenant. They're either fashion designer, makeup artist, photographer, or a blogger. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But guess what? I started blogging in my second year. I used WordPress. I didn't know jack about WordPress. I just started using it as a novice. Everything I know about WordPress now, I learned it on my own. I never took any classes or anything like that. At some point, I wanted to move to blogger.com.ng, I think is what's called, Blogger. I don't know, that move was not successful. I just ended up going back to WordPress. So I won't mention the names of my blogs because I had to, but I won't mention the names of them because I don't want people to go and search it up. My blog, there was no consistency, no pictures. It was just awful in my opinion. If I were to start a blog right now, I would definitely do better because I learned a lot. But at that time, I feel like everybody was experimenting with blogging. It was just getting into the student scene. As at then, the only really, really big blogger I knew was Linda Ikeji. And when I wanted to sort of advertise my blog, I would post it on Facebook, and then it will redirect people to my blog. So I guess that's how I got most of the reads. I wrote a lot of struggles studying engineering, and I feel like that's what kept people coming back, because people were laughing in the comment section like, oh my god, it's so funny. I'm going to see if I can find some of the comments and I'll put it here. I got past it and I'm a graduate of engineering, thanks be to God. So by the time I was in my 4th year, here's what happened. Because of all the negligence, I failed. I did. I failed in school, and my parents were very, 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 very upset. What is taking your time? What is going on? Are you not understanding? Attention kind of went to the blog that I was doing. It wasn't a big blog. I wasn't having a lot of views. I was averaging a few hundred, and they were like, focus on your schoolwork. Anyway, so that's how I archived all my posts and decided to focus on my schoolwork. But I didn't even completely focus on my schoolwork, because by my final year, I was writing fiction pieces on Nairaland. I wrote serial fiction pieces, so basically like super story, but every Friday I used to write it on Nairaland. I didn't write a lot. I wanted to write more. I don't know what happened. I guess I just lost enthusiasm. Doing all this, I'm also working on my books. I had a book that was done by the time I was in 4th year. I had completed a book which is More Than Pretty. I will link it down below. Yourself will improve over time. For instance, the way I wrote More Than Pretty is not the way I wrote The Rivers Between Us. The Rivers Between Us is my book that's currently on pre-order right now. So lots of these things You kind of learn on your own. Schools don't really teach you. So if you want me to give some more tips on fiction writing, I will be doing that in subsequent videos. This is my storytelling journey basically. So I'm a storyteller, I'm a writer, I'm a creator, and this is my story. I'm going to just summarize things I feel like you should learn from this story, just in case you have not learned anything by yourself. Let me help you. Number one is I think you should try and expand your writing as much as possible. So I know that people definitely have strong suits, but you would never know which one is really your strong suit until you try. And I think you can never go wrong with experience. Always show your work to people. At least write for fun. Write a couple of things for fun, and then share the link. Use Google Docs. Share the link. People will make comments, and you will be very, whether they are good or bad, you will know the next step to take. The third thing I would tell you is do not let your parents stop you, because I believe you're going to find a lot of fulfillment. If you are meant to be a writer, you find a lot of fulfillment in writing. Like, this should be the third or the fourth point. You can broaden your knowledge anywhere. You can be working and still broaden your knowledge. You can be in school and you're still working on it. It doesn't matter. I studied engineering. You can study whatever you want to study. I'm glad for my journey, and I'm glad for where my story has taken me, and I'm happy, I'm excited to see where I'm going to go. Thank you so much for listening to my writing story, my storytelling journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a thing or two or three, and just click the link in the description below to see my books that are out and the ones that are for pre-order, and subscribe. Do it. It's free. You're not paying anything.